Disclaimer. This is not how I eat every day, it's just what I ate on a random day in my life. I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. This is not a recommendation on how to eat, but you might pick up inspiration to try out something new.
Good morning. I am starting the day with a cup of coffee and reading my book. Today is a public holiday here in Norway, so I have the day off. Also, if you love books, I would love for you to come over to my other channel. I have a bookish channel where I post more often than I post here. And that's called Lunacha Books. I will leave a link in the description box, as well as up in the up here, I think it is. So starting the day with coffee and reading, which is my favorite way to start the day. And today I'm also sitting outside because it's a lovely sunny day. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to sit outside though, to be honest with you. Today's breakfast is soy sausages and fried potatoes. Yum, yum, yum. I am going to make bread in my bread maker. I have a Wilfa BM50. So I start with putting all the wet ingredients in first. So it's 4.5 deciliters of water, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then 1 tablespoon of, I use date syrup. You could probably use maple syrup or agave syrup if that's what you have. But I use date syrup because it's nice and it's cheap, not least. Then I put in all the dry ingredients, and I'm starting with 60 liters of sieved wheat flour. And then I use sammalt hvetemel grovmalt fullkorn. It looks like this, and it's a coarsely ground something. I'll put up the text here so you can see what Google Translate calls it. I'm not quite sure if it's the correct wording, but it's 1 deciliter of this. And then it's 1 deciliter of this flour, which looks like this, which is almost the same, but instead of it being coarsely grounded, it's finely grounded. I don't know if that makes any difference in English. Then I add in 1 deciliter of oats. Then I add in 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. There we go. And then I have a deciliter of flax seeds. This bread maker has a little chamber for seeds on the top, so I am going to add half a deciliter of pumpkin seeds as well as half a deciliter of sunflower seeds into the chamber. Then I am going to choose the program, and I am going to do program 3, and it has the 1.5 kilo bread, and I normally add a little bit more to the crust, and then I just press start, and then it has started. It doesn't make any sounds as of yet. Another thing I am going to make today is almond butter, and I don't know where you live, but here in Norway it costs like a fortune for a small glass of almond butter, and to make it yourself is super simple, and it is also just like a fraction of the price when you do it yourself. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'm using almond butter in a recipe later today, or recipe, something I'm making later today. Not quite following a recipe, but I'm going to make a lentil and carrot soup where I'm going to have a little bit of almond butter in. So my plan is to make almond butter, and it's so super simple to make yourself, so that's what I'm going to do. I am starting with preheating the oven to 180 degrees, I am putting on parchment paper because I'm always worried it will be burnt. Even though it probably will not, but still. So this is a bag of 250 grams of almonds that I'm just laying out on the sheet or the thing here. The word for it escapes me. It's called stekebrett in Norwegian. I currently don't remember what it is in English. I'm sorry, but you can see what it is, right? So it doesn't really matter. Now they are going to be in the oven for 5 minutes. My bread maker has started, so it's making quite the noise. So these are ready to go out. Oops. And now I'm going to let them cool down so that they're nice and cool when I'm going to put them into a little blender and whiz them. I have got nothing for green tea lately, so I keep making myself pots of green tea. This one is tea from Palado Tea. And it's this tea, it's called Tea di Hammam. And it's a tea inspired by Turkish recipe based on green tea, flowers and fruits. It is a blend with tasty notes, sprinkled with flower petals in the purest of Eastern traditions. It evokes the fragrances used to perfume the hammam: rose, green, date, red fruits and orange blossom. So it's really nice, and it's also really nice cold. Okay, so I did a blunder. I forgot to put in the thingamajigs that actually kneads the bread, the two little handle thingies in metal. So I've now tried to put them back in and hopefully kneading the bread, and then I'll see if I can like make the bread in the oven, but I'm not sure if it will work. We'll see. Yeah, life is hard sometimes. As for the almond butter, I have put them into a small food processor, and my plan is to just make the butter. So all I'm going to do is blend this until it has the right consistency. I love this consistency, so that's it. Not only does this cost a lot less than store-bought almond butter, but it also tastes a lot better, in my opinion. It is lunchtime. I'm going to bake this baguette, or it's half baked. So I'm going to finish this in the oven because it's store-bought. But that's the bread we have at the moment. So I'm going to make that in the oven and then put in different kinds of spreads and like salad and stuff, and see how it turns out, but it'll be a good lunch. So here's my lunch. On this part I have the almond butter that I just made and some banana, and this is Oatly cream cheese and grapes, which is also a good combination in my opinion. I am happy to see that the bread has risen, so I am going to take this out and make some loaves and put them in the oven. Alright, so here they are. I am going to let them rise a little before putting them into the oven, because I think that will be good for them. Yay! I'm very pleased. They have like risen even more, so they're now going to go into the oven. So I will have some nice bread later on. Bye. The bread are done. I'm actually super happy with the result. I am going to make soup for dinner, and I'm taking inspiration from the Vegan Instant Pop Cookbook by Nisha Vora, or Rainbow Plant Life, here on YouTube. I will link to her channel down below and also to this amazing cookbook. However, I'm not going to make the creamy carrot ginger soup. I'm going to make something similar to it. I'm going to take inspiration from this recipe. And since this recipe, that's the thing, this recipe does not have any protein in it. So rather than making this soup, I am going to just take inspiration from it and make carrot and lentil soup. Because lentils are yummy and they have protein. I am quickly just soaking my lentils for a very short while, just to kind of rinse them a bit, I guess. I have roughly chopped up a yellow onion and carrots. I have put in some, not some, but the onion, as well as garlic, some ginger, some chili, salt, freshly cracked pepper, and also some cumin. I have added the carrots. I have added the lentils. I have added some vegetable stock. So I'm pretty much eyeballing this, to be honest with you. I have added a can of coconut milk as well. In goes the bay leaf. I think this will be such a nice soup. I am choosing the soup function, of course. And then start. I blended the soup with a hand blender and it is now ready. And I also have fresh bread, so I can have fresh bread with the soup. Last meal of today is homemade bread with strawberry jam.